What's up, everyone? We're back. We are in week 10 now. It's a very low scoring week this week. The high score was the lowest of the year, and it's the 9th unique winner this year in 9 weeks. And a whopping 7 teams scored under 100 points. So let's take a closer look. The first game was Joey versus me. Cream of Wheat versus Bang Lawn. He had 111. I had 78. We both picked me. We both lost. He had a nice game out of Chubb and Lamar Jackson. I unfortunately have huge running back concerns. That McNichols got 5, and Joey got 0 out of his flex and still handily defeated me. Daniel Jones with 10 points. I had Matt Ryan. I had Daniel Jones. I made the move to cut Ryan and pick someone else up, and Ryan was, I think, like the second or third highest scoring quarterback last week. So I can't catch a break. Anything you see here besides Joey's 2 superstars?
Nah, I think Jackson and Chubb lead the way for Joey. That trade paid off finally. And then you, Devontae Smith and Freeman on your bench, but I don't think I would have started them on a normal week either.
I may have started Freeman, but I wasn't thinking about Devontae Smith. He hasn't done much the past few seasons. So, next one was Jeff versus you, Mark. You had the crown. You lost it. We both picked you. Jeff won 128 to 106. He had a big day out of Herbert, but Kittle came back and put up 21. His Dolphin defense put up 22. Houston's terrible. They're costing people fantasy games now because they can't put a team on the field. On your side, awesome day out of Taylor. Again, awesome day out of Wentz. Your Colts stack is working out good, but the rest of the way, nothing real crazy. Tyreek Hill with another 5-point game. Gesicki stepped back with 7. You and most of your bench was on a bye, so I guess you assume you'll lose this week, but you should be pretty good the rest of the season.
Yeah, I made the trade right before this game, and I scored it out. If I would have had Darrell Williams and Devin Singletary in, I still would have lost. And the kicker that I actually had in the lineup earlier in the week was Greg Zerloin, and he scored 0. So I actually, by not having a kicker, did not lose any points.
Nice. So now Jeff has the crown. Crown was up there. You were going to wear it, but you didn't have it long enough while we filmed here. I know my team's very awful here, but in my other league, I've had the crown for 4 weeks, and I'm currently sitting in first place. I know how to play fantasy football. It doesn't matter if it's the other league, but I cannot.
You look kind of beat down.
I'm so distraught. I really am. I'm happy that we do this because I have a rooting interest. I want you to continue to win because I feel like if you win, our show wins.
Fair enough.
I definitely. I didn't shut it off yet. It's not off yet. It might be soon. It's just tragic. Every time I think Montgomery's coming back, I'm so happy. Oh wait, Dalvin Cook did what? Good. He'll probably be on the exempt list soon enough. So I'll lose Cook again. Regardless of that, Tagmeyer had 121. Beat up Palmer. He had 76. Interesting strategy to pick up a quarterback that wasn't playing. And I actually told Palmer this. I saw that he picked up Tua at noon, and I was in here finishing the baseboards listening to the fantasy football show that tells you who's in and out, and the first thing they said was Tua's active but he's not playing. And I waited till 1:01 and texted Tags and said, why are you playing Tua? Because I didn't want to blow it for Palmer, but it didn't matter. Tua got 0 and he still won by better than 30 points. No, better than 40 points. Melvin Gordon had 16. James Conner had 38. James Conner blew up. Jefferson had a decent day with 17. And then the Browns defense came through with 23. For Palmer, Stafford sort of took a step back with 12. Eckler only with 9. Harris had an okay game, 15. But that's not good for Harris. He's usually up in the 20s. Robert Woods with 13. Nothing else really. Michael Carter with 9. That's a decent day out of the flex. Stafford with only 12, like we said, though. He had 2 picks. But it sounds like he has some cavalry coming in.
He finally has a number 1 receiver.
Okay, well. We both picked Palmer, so if you're keeping track, we're so far 0-3.
Okay.
Next one was Jack versus Kurt. Jack won 93 to 91. That's 2 weeks in a row Jack has won by less than 3 points. Justin Fields was 17. Booker had a decent day with 13. Not a bad feeling. Galladay got back in the action, but only put up 3.8. Renfro with 14. That's not too bad. Then the other side, Mahomes with 10. Again, second round pick, I think. 10 points again. Crazy. Zeke only had 11. Gaskin outscored him. He had 14. Kupp with 15. That's, 15's great, but for Kupp, you're looking for a touchdown there, and that would have helped. Jamar with only 7. Waller's back in action, though. He had 12. That's good. Landry only with 2, though, so that was probably his issue there, Landry, and his kicker got outscored by 5. Yeah, Kurt's been stumbling a little bit out the gate. He was like, I think he's 6-3, but he's lost a couple in a row now, I think, or at least 3 out of the last 4 or something like that. So, what are your impressions on the season Mahomes is putting up?
You know what? I almost half expected it. I know you probably don't believe that, but any team that's gone, they went to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row. Mm-hmm. Very rarely do you see a team in the NFL go to the Super Bowl 3 years in a row.
Very rarely. Bills last time.
So you have to expect they were going to take a step back, and they rebuilt the offensive line. So I didn't think that he would do this, and I still expect him to do better, but I didn't think the Chiefs would go to the Super Bowl again.
Yeah. I don't know that they're dead yet, but it looks like Buffalo's decent. So Tennessee looks great. I don't know how or why, but Tennessee seems to be putting together good.
Baltimore's playing well,
Baltimore's number 2
in the fourth
right now.
quarter.
They do not come out to a fast start. They don't.
I think Jack's kind of strung it together with all the injuries. He strung a couple wins together. If Barkley, Carson, and Metcalf and Kyler Murray are back next week, he still has a fighting chance.
Yeah. Yeah, these last 2 wins, squeaking him out was huge for him. He could have easily lost both and then been sitting with a 0% chance of making the playoffs, but he's not. He won them both, and he's right back at it. Next game was the Brady Bunch. That's Abbott with 100 versus Stu. Stu got 90. Keenan Allen with 18. Freiermuth with 18. He's turned into a tight end star. Eli Mitchell with 10. McCaffrey's back. He only got 12, but that's a good sign if he's finished the game. Jalen Hurts, not bad, 17 points. Kamara with 18, but I believe, did Kamara get hurt?
I don't know. It seems like something happened because Mark Ingram was a big pickup.
They were saying Ingram's the guy to get. James Robinson was 0, so that could have been. Does he have anyone on his bench? Any running backs? No.
I picked up Hyde, so I know he doesn't have his handcuff.
Naeem Hines, 18, so I think Robinson was out all week, though, wasn't he?
He came down to, I think, game time decision.
Okay, well.
And Hines played on Thursday.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough. Well, there you go. You put Mixon in that flex position. You put Mixon in for Robinson, you have a flex spot.
Yep.
You get 10 out of, Robinson. Well, I guess he still doesn't do it. Well, Ingram.
Evan Ingram,
I don't think you're going to put Evan Ingram in your flex. Well, maybe. I don't know. He doesn't make a ton of moves, and he said that. So, but he lost again. Mason Crosby lost him a point. Abbott was dead too, and now he's won a couple. He's 4-5, and McCaffrey's back.
Same as Jack.
These guys are getting healthy at the right time.
Managed to string a couple wins together when he was injured, and now McCaffrey's coming back. He'll eventually get Miles Sanders back. I think he's gonna. The JV division's gonna be, that last 2 playoff spots are gonna be come down to the wire.
Yeah. In the Jack versus Kurt game, we both picked Kurt, so we're both 0-4. The Abbott versus Stu. I picked Stu, you picked Abbott. You're 1-4, I was 0-5.
Okay.
Last game was Pat versus Bry Guy. Josh Allen with 9 in a disgusting loss to Jacksonville. Patterson with another 18. He's having a remarkable season. I thought that would end soon, but now with Ridley being out, I don't know that it's going to be. I mean, they're going to have to lean on him because God knows they don't use Pitts the right way. Dak is back. He had 20. Josh Jacobs had 11. Edmonds had 3, and he got hurt. Pittman, not bad, 14. That second receiver spot is an issue. Myers gave him 1. Robbie Anderson gave him less than 1. Kelsey had a decent game, 15. Bryce still struggling. I mean, he 3 wins, and he sort of needs these ones to start stacking up, and they're not happening. Pat's squeaking up. Pat won by 5, scoring under 100. So that's an interesting situation. We both picked Pat. I finished 1-5. You finished 2-4. awful week for us. High score of the week was Jeff with 128. So that was the lowest high score of the week. It beat Pat's week 4 at 138, so he was 10 points lower. Free agents. Alexander Madison was the big guy this week because of the Cook news. I don't know that anything's going to come out of this. I mean, there's only 5 weeks left, so I don't know that anything's going to happen this season, but I guess you take him just because. He bid 11, Abbott bid 8, I bid 1. Jeff got him. Brandon Ayuk, Bry Guy went San Francisco wide receiver. Bry Guy went 10. He won him. Pat went 6. Palmer went 1. Ramondre Stevenson, New England running back. Pat got him for 3. I think Pat drops and picks up Stevenson
every week.
A lot. And I've done the same with Matt Ryan and Trey Lance too. So Jordan Howard, Philly running back. Joey went 2. Palmer and Kurt went 1. Matt Ryan, Atlanta quarterback. I went 1. Elijah Moore, Jets wide receiver. Kurt went 1 and won him. Palmer went 1 and lost him. Week 10 preview. The buys this week are the Bears, Bengals, Texans, and Giants. The first game is me versus Abbott. I don't like this because it doesn't give me the injuries. I'm 2-7, lost 5 in a row. Abbott's 4-5. He's won 2 in a row. This doesn't give me injuries either. I don't know why it's. So I'm putting Matt Ryan back in. He's playing Dallas. I'm hoping that works out. Cook versus Chargers. I don't know that I'm keeping McNichols in. I guess Montgomery's on a bye. I don't know. I guess if I want to put in Freeman, I better do it now.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to do that. Why don't you take over? What do you feel about Abbott's team?
You know what? I think Abbott's team's coming into their own. I mean, Damian Harris might be injured right now, and that's going to hurt him. But I think he has depth there with Elijah Mitchell. And with McCaffrey coming back, that's going to help him out big time. And then, Brady. Brady's probably in the MVP conversation right now, the league. And then Pat Freiermuth, I think he's turning into a weapon for the Steelers in the tight end. You, on the other hand, I think that second running back spot, Freeman's not a bad choice. But
it'd be nice if Montgomery was playing this week.
Yeah, I like the way that he ran. I like Brady over Matt Ryan. I like his second running back a little more. The rest of your lineups, I think, are pretty close. But I'm going to take the Brady bunch in a close one.
Yeah, I'm going with myself. I actually think this is the week. I think this is the week I do it.
I hope so.
This printed screwed up with. It has to be. I mean, if I lose another game, I'm out. If I lose another game and you and Palmer win, then I am officially eliminated from the playoffs. So, we'll see. It's frustrating. Next game is Tagmeyer versus Jeff. Jeff's 5-4. He's won 1 in a row. He has the crown. Tags is 7-2. He also won 1 in a row. Rodgers versus Seattle for Tags. I'm assuming Rodgers is going to be back. I think he's cleared on Saturday, but I don't know what's going to happen. Melvin Gordon versus Philly is a good matchup. Connor versus Carolina is a good matchup. Jefferson, A.J. Brown, Hawkinson, Cooper. He has good matchups. The other side, Aaron Jones. I think Aaron Jones is top 10, but I don't think he's having a very good season. He's 8th. So he had 3 points one week, 38 the next week, and he's been bouncing 6, 20, 53. So he's about, what's his average, 15 or so? 15 points. I guess that's decent enough. But Dearness Johnson, I think that's a really good play this week since there's no other running backs there. Lockett's been struggling, but is Wilson back yet?
I think he'll be back this week.
That's a great cure for whatever's ailing Lockett. Then Hollywood tonight, Kittle, Hopkins. These are 2 really good teams. I'm going to take Jeff because I need Tags to start loot. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. I think I can tie Tags, so I have to get a lot of points for. But I actually think Jeff takes him here.
I agree. Last week, Kittle, he played a lot better than I expected. I think Lockett benefits with Russell Wilson being back. And then on the other side, Rodgers is a question mark. If he's in, I think he'll be fine. I really don't see James Conner now that he's the lead back, I don't see him putting up the production that he had the past couple weeks.
That was a lot last week.
And then rest of their lineups, again, I think Jefferson, Brown, Lockett, Brown, pretty close. Kittle, I think he has a little bit of advantage. And I think DeAndre Hopkins, if he's healthy. Now, depending on who the quarterback is there, that may hurt him. But I go Jeff in a close one.
Yep, let's see what happens. You need Jeff. You need tags to lose so you can get that first round bye. Next one's not tags. Palmer versus Jack. Palmer's 4-5. He's lost 2 in a row, so he hit a little bit of a bump. And then there's Jack, who's 4-5. He's won 2 in a row. He's won 2 close ones. I guess Kyler's back. He missed last week. I would assume he plays this week. Carson's in his lineup. Is Carson back as well?
He was on the practice field yesterday.
That is very interesting. I think he had a neck injury, so that's something to really watch. Because
said he doesn't have any more discomfort, and he's back on the practice field. If all goes well, he'll be cleared on Saturday.
I like Chris Carson. I'm glad to see that Jack's getting healthy. Metcalf, Renfro, Knox, Drake, Bills versus the Jets defense. I think the Bills are out for blood this week after losing to Jacksonville. On the other side, you got Stafford, Eckler, Najee, Robert Woods, Elijah Moore, Mark Andrews, Michael Carter. He has starting two Jets versus the Bills. I'm going to take Jack. I think he beats them by more than 3.
I agree with you. Looking at Tim's lineup, 2 Jets. You know, I have a lot of question marks about Jack's lineup. Murray was hurt. Carson was hurt. Dawson Knox was hurt. He has a lot of injured players in his lineups who may or may not be coming back. But starting 2 Jets, not only are they 2 Jets, but they're 2 rookie Jets.
Versus the Bills.
That's a ballsy move.
Buffalo? No, it's not in New York at least.
I'm taking Jack.
There you go. We'll see how that one plays out. Next one's Kurt, 6-3. He's lost 1. Joey, 5-4, is 1-1. Mahomes, Elliott, Gaskin, Kupp, Beasley, Waller, Landry. Sounds like a good lineup. On the other side, you have Lamar Jackson, who's going back to Miami, where he grew up, and he wants to ball out, I heard. Gibson versus Tampa is going to be a struggle. Howard at Denver. Jordan Howard, which is it Howard? Is it
Boston Scott?
There's a third.
Kenneth Gainwell.
There's a lot of mouths to feed there. CeeDee Lamb. Is it CD? Is it Cooper? Is Gallup back this week? How's Dalton Schultz going in? How's Zeke going to get work? Corey Davis, Dalton Schultz. He has Dalton Schultz anyway. I'm taking Kurt. The names on his team are up there, and I think this might be the big one for Mahomes because it's versus Vegas, and that's almost a must-win for the Chiefs at this point.
Yeah, I'm taking Kurt. Kurt as well. The only question I have is, do you think there's a reason that Henry Ruggs is still on Kurt's bench?
No, I don't. I don't. I thought he would be looking for any excuse to get rid of someone like Ruggs. So last year he was a Rittenhouse militia, and if he still had that name this year, I think his tearful, we'll call it.
That could be his.
It was an emotional. They said he was an emotional on the stand. I saw a scared, whining, crying kid that wasn't as tough as maybe those Patriots thought he was. So, just wanted to get that out there. I don't think Kurt watches anyway, and I'm pretty sure no one from the Rittenhouse family watches either.
You never know. We're getting popular.
Well, if we can hook our cart to the Jake Miller bandwagon, I think that'll really propel us. The Jake Outdoors.
Jakey Crack Outdoors or Jakey Outdoors. You know that
youth
trapping.
When we give him tips about his show and he responds with, I have 1,000 followers and you have 4, it's hard to argue that. So tell your friends, everybody. Next game is Stu versus Pat. Jalen Hurts. Philly turned into a running team, and that really hurted Hurts' production on the ground, and that's starting to take away. But I believe Kamara's hurt. James Robinson is still in his lineup. Godwin's back, so he definitely changed it. I don't know if Robinson's back yet or not. Sutton, Goddard, Ravens, Hines. Yeah, even Hines is in, so I guess you learned from last week.
Kamara and Godwin didn't practice today.
Oh, jeez. What's today? Thursday?
Thursday. So, and James Robinson was limited at practice. So Stu has a decent lineup, but there's too many question marks. I think the agenda wins this one in a landslide.
I was going to say he has 3 guys on a bye on his bench. Will Fuller, who I believe is still injured. And then Roethlisberger. Who is Sanders for Miami? Kicker. Okay. So he's a backup kicker, a backup defense, Roethlisberger. And the majority of his lineup is questionable or not playing.
Well, I think Ben's a solid backup.
Fantastic. Is he taking out Hurts? So, yeah, we're not going to spend a ton of time. Pat wins this game probably pretty handily. That'll put Pat to 6-4. And really back in. What was he? He won 2, so he has an opportunity to win 3 in a row. Stu, what does that do for him division-wise? We'll have to check that out. Last game is, I don't know why your game's always last on my board. Bride Guy versus Mark. Bride's 3-6. He's lost 2. You're 5-4, coming off your first loss in 5 weeks.
You know what? It was a loss. Like I said, I'm not too upset about it. I made the trade right before it, so I was more happy about that move.
Yeah. Bride Guy with Dak, Josh Jacobs, Swift, Pittman, Myers. If you take Prescott, Jacobs, Swift, Pittman, Kelsey, it's a pretty solid lineup. I don't like Ayuk. It's only because he's going to take away from Debo, I believe. And Myers is just atrocious. The Calvin Ridley issue is a problem for Bry, and Michael Gallup might be coming back soon, so maybe there's an opportunity to get him in. I think he might be back this week. I don't know that. I haven't really looked too much this week. And for you, you got Tampa back. Your lineup's back to what it was. You got Indy, Tampa, KC, Tampa, Gesicki, and now McLaurin on your... I think you won that trade. What was that trade? It was McLaurin
And Zach Moss.
For...
Antonio Brown and Darrell Williams.
No, Darrell Williams, I think, is better than Zach Moss.
I agree.
Antonio Brown is probably close to McLaurin, but Antonio Brown in a walking boot is not as good as McLaurin.
I agree.
Okay. I think Pat wins this game, but I ultimately think Pat loses that trade. McLaurin came off a bye. He was on a bye last week, so he's got to be 100% healthy now.
Let's hope so.
And Brown came off a bye last week, and he came into the facility with a walking boot on still. Well, okay. Well, I mean, I guess you got Henderson, so that's Henderson for McLaurin, maybe?
What do you mean?
Maybe that breaks down to be what the trade was.
No, I got Zach Moss. Yeah.
You can throw away Zach Moss. You can throw away Antonio Brown. And then, so it's McLaurin for Henderson. Is that what the trade was? Henderson?
No, Darrell Williams.
Or Williams.
Yeah.
Who's Henderson?
Darrell Henderson is one of his running backs.
That's
what... Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. That's what I meant. Ugh, I don't like that even more now. Well, yeah, I'm taking Pat. I don't think it's...
I'm playing Braga, though.
I'm taking Mark. I'm all thrown off now. Dude, all I could think about, Montgomery looked decent. If he would have played all year, I would have beat Jack, because I lost to Jack by 2 points. I hate fantasy football. I spent hours upon hours researching, listening, learning.
I'm the exact opposite mood of you right now, because, even though I lost last week, I finally love where my team's at. I think I have this is the exact type of team I wanted, and I think I'm in a good spot. So I'm pretty happy with where we're at right now.
I would be too. I don't even need to be 7-1. I need 4 wins. If you give me the last 2 wins, Tagmar beat me by a handful, and he had a quarterback. What did he miss? He missed something. He didn't have a
receiver, maybe?
He was a receiver, but, if I have a decent second running back, I win that game. I beat Jack last week. I mean, the 2 more wins, and they should have been there. Let's jump into your power rankings, which I think, your power rankings.
Alrighty. So,
I think I know what 12 is.
Yeah, not a big change at the bottom. Coming in at number 12, unfortunately. I'm pulling for him this week, but he's been there for a few weeks now. Is batting lawn.
That's 4 weeks. I've been tracking since week 7. I've been in 12th place since week 7.
Coming in at number 11, we have the Rough Cats. I think coming off of 2 losses now in a row. They have tied for the second longest losing streak. Dropped down to 11. Tied with them, coming in at number 10 with the second longest losing streak, is the Crumb Snatchers.
Well, Palmer dropped quite a bit. He was a 6, and he dropped to 10. Bry Guy stayed the same. I stayed the same.
Coming in at number 9, riding a 2-game win streak, the Brady Bunch.
Abbott has got a couple close wins, and that's definitely helped him. He went from 10 to 9.
And that's similar to number 8, the Thunder Gun Express, coming off 2 close wins, and now, just like the Brady Bunch as well, getting healthy, helping them to move up.
Yeah, Jack got healthy, and he moved from 9 to 8, and, he's not slowing down.
The opposite of that, coming in at number 7, we have Dirty Sanchez. Couple of injuries, a couple question marks in the lineup, and coming off a loss is dropping him down.
He was at 5, and Stu dropped to 7.
Coming in at number 6, you have Kareem Wheat. He's kind of been hanging around that middle spot here. Win one, lose one, win one, lose one. Heavy top of the lineup. We'll see what happens, though, with Nick Chubb out.
Yeah, he's Joey went from 8 to 6.
Coming in at number 5, we have the Fuckery of Foot.
Jeff went from 7 to 5.
He's a similar spot as Kareem Wheat. It seems like he's just been on a win one, lose one kind of streak. Can't really put anything together. Coming in at number 4, we have falling 3 spots, Ben's Baloney Boppers.
Oh, wow, you dropped from 1 to 4.
Lost the crown, lost the game, but I think made the right moves for the long term of the team. Coming at number 3, we have the Confederate States of America.
Kurt went from 2 to 3.
And he's still holding the first place in that division, and I think he is he's second overall in points. Coming in at number 2, one of the biggest jumps is the Sil Agenda.
He went from 4 to 2.
Sil Agenda is currently tied with the longest win streak in the league. And he made a couple moves as well. I think his team is right where they need to be. And then reclaiming the top spot is the General.
He was at 3. Tags was at 3 and moved back to 1.
Most points and most wins as we sit here right now.
Is he 97% chance of making the playoffs? And Kurt is also 97% chance. So I screwed it up. I should have did the first 4 in, the first 2 out. But I changed it to 3. So my first 4 in are Tags, Kurt, Jeff, and Mark. I don't trust Pat's team as much as you. That doesn't mean that when I add one team next week, it's not going to be Pat. But I don't know when Hilaire's coming back. But that doesn't necessarily help him because he already has...
He has Williams now.
He has Williams anyway. Jeff Wilson came back last week, didn't get any carries at all, which I was surprised by. Boston Scott, I would assume Boston Scott, once Miles Sanders comes back, he kind of takes a step back. Sony Michel is, I would say, almost irrelevant. Bateman, I like Bateman. Maybe that's why he traded. No, I mean, he's not going to, maybe in a flex position. And AB, I don't know when he is coming back or if he is even coming back. They've been kind of quiet. There's something about a heel issue, and he had messed up feet when they showed him on Hard Knocks 2 years ago.
He froze his feet.
It was weird. Josh Allen's still good. Henderson's good. Patterson, I think, will remain good. Devontae Adams is fine. Diggs is having an up and down season, but he's still, a good wide receiver too. Dan Arnold, I think, is nothing special. And then Darrell Williams, that's going to be the Williams-Hilaire role. So I don't think he has a bad team, but I don't have him as my top 4 yet. We differ a little bit. And then my first 3 out are Stu because of, I'm not going to say lack of preparation, but I don't know that how much money does he have left on the budget? Let me check the budget info. Stu has $100. So he doesn't make moves. I think that might come back to hurt him. It hurt him last week. It looks like it's probably going to hurt him again this week. But I guess once he gets past his buys, he's fine.
Yeah.
Get that money for playoff budget. And then I have Guy. That second and third receiver are not great. I tried working out a deal with them. I got the deal I wanted. I feel bad because I knew what it was going to take for him, and I was okay with it. And then I kind of hesitated, and I saw Burrow was having a matchup last week that I didn't love, and then he was off this week, so I was going to wait 2 weeks, and now, I'm waiting 2 weeks. I'm probably going to be out of it by then, so it's not going to matter.
So I have a question now after...
I'm the absolute first one out.
After seeing your first 4 in and first 4 out, and kind of looking at the divisions, noticing that a few of the first 4 out come from our division, do you think Tags did the right thing when drafting?
Well, absolutely. Well, see, that's an interesting statement because he's 7-2. What is he in the division? Does it have that? It doesn't have divisions. I thought it did. Well, he put together. I don't really think it mattered for him at this point. There's 3 teams fighting for 2 spots. It's you, Joey, and Palmer. I'm pretty sure. I don't love Guy's chances. I don't have chances. I think he's a good team. You have the opportunity to be a good team this week once Tampa gets back. But I think Joey and Palmer are average, and myself and Brian are bad. The other side, I think Kurt's pretty decent, but I also think Jeff and Pat are good. Stu could be good. Abbott lost McCaffrey, and Jack lost the rest of his lineup. So I think that a couple bad breaks, if Barkley and McCaffrey play all year, I think that whole division is really hard. So yeah, Tags definitely picked the better divisions. It's top heavy, but the bottom is terrible, and the other division is they're all right into it. So we're on to Stu's Conspiracy Corner. This is a quick one, it looks like. We have the Ravens and Pitt playing tonight, so we're going to try to wrap it up soon. We're on 32 minutes. Do you believe COVID came from a wet market in Wuhan, or was it created in a lab as part of a gain-of-function research funded partially by the U.S. that accident leaked into society? Or perhaps China and our advisors released it purposely to cause more civil unrest in the U.S. and the rest of our allies? There's a lot to unpack here. They said it was a wet market in Wuhan, and if you actually look at what that is, it's disgusting. It's, I think, living animals that they kill and sell. So the cages are stacked on top of each other, and the feces mixes together. It's disgusting. They should be outlawed. I don't know. I guess there's no Department of Health in China. Or was it part of a lab that leaked out? Did you ever see The Stand for Stephen King?
No.
It was a book, but I wasn't going to read it. But it's about a disease that leaks out of a military establishment and kills 99% of the population. And then the people that are alive have dreams. Some dream of an old black woman in Kansas. Maybe it's Little Rock. In a farm, and other people dream of a slick guy in Vegas, and whoever you dream about, that's where you're supposed to make your pilgrims to. The guy in Vegas is Satan. The black woman in Little Rock represents God. So it was like the end of the world apocalypse that started with a military bug. Or China and our advisors released it purposely. I don't know unless it's the mass companies who had much to gain from that. But what are your beliefs on this current situation?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think maybe the leading candidate would be it was accidentally leaked from a gain of function research in Wuhan.
It is really weird that there is a level 4 lab in Wuhan that the U.S. partially funds. It's concerning, but I kind of want it to be that, because if they created it or controlled it for a while, maybe there's a better way to stop it. Although we're into 18 months now, so maybe it's not. But Stu's always he's batting 1,000.
You know what? I think he's earned himself a right to come on the show.
I've asked him. Believe it at that. It's basically an open invite to anybody at this point. I can't say much more about how unlucky my team is.
I thought you drafted a good team.
I thought I drafted a good team.
You know, when I look at your team, compared to some teams, there's some teams I look at and they might have a top-heavy roster and nothing at the bottom. You're really good, I think, except for 2 positions. Quarterback and that second running back. Well, even that second running back,
Montgomery,
that was good.
It just never panned out. Cook missed a couple games in the first 4 weeks. My quarterback was an issue the first couple weeks. Lance never came in like he was supposed to. Is Shanahan a good coach?
No.
He went to the Super Bowl once, lost. I don't think he's been over 500 since. And he traded 3 first-round picks for a quarterback he's not using. His second pick was Trey Sermon, who they don't use. Mostert got hurt, and they didn't go to Trey Sermon. I agree with you. I think he's a good coordinator. I don't think he's a good head coach.
Do you think you'll change your strategy next year when drafting in regards to a quarterback?
This is 2 years in a row I didn't get a quarterback. I got Herbert late last year, and that's when I went on my run. But I was a couple weeks too late. Well, I guess I made the playoffs, but I lost in the first round to Jeff. I have to. I thought I had it addressed with...
Yeah.
So last year, I was streaming quarterbacks until I got Herbert, and I was streaming tight ends until I got... No, I was streaming tight ends the whole time. And that's exhausting. I wanted 2 positions. I don't want to stream receiver. I don't want to stream running back. It's impossible to keep up with that. So I drafted Pitts early. I thought I addressed that, which I kind of did, but he's too inconsistent. And then I drafted Lance earlier, and I thought I'll get 2 weeks with Garoppolo, and then Lance will take over, and he'll be a Jalen Hurts type player. San Fran's not winning games. They're not. I think they're out of the play, close to out of the playoffs, and they still aren't making a change. I dropped Lance now, so you can rest assured Lance will start next week, score 30, and I'll be outbid by him because I only have like $6 left. So
I'm not laughing at you.
I'm glad people should laugh. This is a catastrophe of the utmost proportion.
I've never seen you look so beat down.
It sucks. You have so much. Speaking of which, you have so much to look forward to. Your 4th receiver found a new home on a passing team.
He's a stud.
And you have that to look forward to. Where's the game at this week?
It is at our good friend Tim Tagmeyer's house.
You said good friend. I had no idea where we were going.
Will you be there?
I just got invited. You invited me, and I didn't say anything, and then I just finished a game of Warzone with Tags, and he invited me. Do you know what's on the menu?
I don't.
Caliente's Pizza, and he's looking forward to a buffalo chicken pizza.
Nice. That sounds good. Will he be making the Tagmeyers? What's the drink called?
The Tagmeyers. So I asked him what I need to bring, and he said nothing. And I said, well, I'm going to bring something, so you might as well tell me, or I'm going to bring something no one wants anyway. And then he said a dessert or a dip. So I'm not bringing either of those. Then I said...
So what do you bring?
I don't know. Probably some green tea to make Tagmeyers.
That works. I can go for one.
I could definitely go. I don't have... Well, I don't know.
I might stay for the late games.
His house?
Yeah.
I might stay till Monday's game. I want them to throw us out this week. 5 weeks left. 5 games left for the playoffs. I'm pretty sure. So Tagmar's 97%, yours 65, Joey's 37, Palmer's 57, which is very interesting because Joey has one additional win than Palmer does. Bry Guy has 11. I have 0% chance, which I don't think that's accurate because if I lose this week, I'll have 0% chance. But Kurt has 97, Jeff has 60, Pat with 84%, Stu with 36, Abbott with 40, Jack with 15. So there's, 2 weeks left before the trade deadline. So some of these teams, if you got to make a move, you got to make it quick. Points for, it looks like Tagmar's leading in points for.
Tagmar, Kurt, and then me, I believe.
I'm going to look at points against, 946. Points against is Pat, 946. By a decent margin, by 40 points. So there's still, there's a lot involved. No one's, other than I guess me and Brian, no one else is really out of it. I don't know. Brian's technically not out of it.
Guy's out of it.
I think realistically he is. Mathematically he's not. But that other division is wide open. So I'm curious to see what kind of things happen. Jack is 2 spots out. And this week the Giants are on a bye, and then he's going to have Barkley, Golladay, and all them guys come back, hopefully healthy, and he might be poised for a run. He might be the dark horse to get in. Yeah, I don't know. You have anything else?
I'm going Kurt, Jeff, and Pat.
I'll say Pat with 84%.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's Tags, me, and I don't know, that Joey and Palmer are close.
Yeah, I think Palmer's team, I'm trying to look at his receivers, Woods and Moore. His running backs are nice, man. Stafford, Eckler, and Harris are a really good start. Carter's good at your flex, but the more Woods, I think Woods takes a step back with Beckham, Allen Robinson, Kadarius Toney.
They both, Joey and Palmer are actually similar. They both have a good quarterback, running back, and one receiver. They both need that second receiver. I think whoever gets that second receiver first out of those two makes the playoff.
I would take Palmer's running backs over Joey. He has Gibson and Howard. I like Gibson, but Howard to me is
Well, he has Chubb
on the bench. Hunt, yeah. Chubb and Hunt. We'll see. This is a big week.
I think Palmer has the better tight end, and they're both going to have to do some work on that second receiver.
I would take CD over Woods.
Hey, I got the number 1 in LA, and he might be on the block if anybody's interested.
There you go. We should have an on the block segment, although no one ever texts anyway, but it'd be a good way to get conversations going. So there was a major trade talks you were saying earlier?
The word on the street was there was the general was involved in a major trade talk, but
with
my inside sources didn't tell me that.
Okay. I don't know what are his needs. Aaron Rodgers, running back for man. He has a lot of wins with Melvin Gordon and Connor. No, that's when Mike Williams was putting up 150 points a week. Man, I could see Tags losing his first playoff game. His team doesn't overwhelm me.
I can see him missing the playoffs.
Well, I don't know about that. So you, Palmer, and Joey take it.
Mm-hmm.
He's only 1 game up, I guess. Well, who's he play this week? Jeff. Jeff ain't, his team's pretty decent. We'll see what goes. This will be, maybe I'll be excited this week to watch everyone else's game since I don't have a game of my own to watch. So, what's up?
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, do you have anything again?
No, I was going to say, let's watch the pick game then.
Let's watch the pick game. We will see you guys next week.
Oh, yes.
Mouse died. This sums up everything. Hail to Pitt. The color, it changes colors. I don't know if Jack noticed that. You can't really see it on there. But it changes colors. That's pretty sweet. See you next week. Email your trade blocks if you have someone that you want to get rid of, or if there's a position that you're looking to get, we can put it out there, maybe spark some conversation. Everyone subscribe to Jakey Crack Outdoors.
Please don't.
He's going to be pissed. And I think we have a very special surprise for next week. I was hoping that it would work out for this week, but I don't think it would. It didn't. And we're hoping next week we have a big surprise for everybody. And I mean big. Figuratively and literally.
I'm excited to see.
I can't
who
wait.
Or what it is.
All right, well, good luck this week. We'll see some of you guys at Tagmeyer's. Is Abbott going to be there? The rules expert?
I don't know.
We'll see. All right, well, take care. Maybe see you Sunday. You didn't say adios.
Adios.